And now, the dulcet tones of the guitar, strumming in the background, Jackson Browne.
Come all ye fair and tender ladies, take warning how you court your men. They're like a star on a summer's morning. First they'll appear and then they're gone. My daddy was a handsome devil. He had a chain 5 miles long, and from each link a heart did bang. For every maid he'd loved in Rome. Oh, love is handsome, love is charming, and love is pretty when it's new. But love grows cold as love grows older and fades away like morning dew. Well, I've been running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me. One said she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy. Well, I was standing on that corner in Winslow, Arizona, blind, but now I see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to have a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. Open up, I'm climbing in to take it easy. Well, I've been running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. I'm looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's just a little hard to find. But take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. do you a John David Souther song. Song's on his album. John David's from Amarillo, Texas. He's going to be with us at the Felt Forum Friday night. If I gave you my blessings and bid you good night, something was holding me down. Once I was baptized, and that was all right. Now if I just can't living for Jesus day after day. Nobody lives quite that strong. Blessed assurance is one thing to know, and another to sing in a song. The family possessions were passed on to me, no longer fit in my hand. And once I was saved, but that one was free. Now I'd be pleased to know just where I stand, living for Jesus and making it pay. Nobody lives quite that long. Once I was baptized, now I am free to sing you this new gospel song. Sing it higher and higher and higher. Sing it higher and higher and higher. Singing higher and higher and higher. I was on cola, folks. It's very strange, you know, that all this is going on somewhere else too. You know, very feels funny. We'll recover, I guess. This is a song that I wrote for these 3 different girls that worked in these 3 different Mexican restaurants in LA. Over a period of about 2 years. I can fall in love very easily in a Mexican restaurant. I'm not sure what it is. I really don't. You don't really have Mexican food in New York. It tends to come out on the Italian side. I was here a couple weeks ago. I had a couple enchiladas that were more like ravioli, I think. That's all right. I'll settle for an Italian enchilada. I should say this is just for one girl. This is for this one girl I met in a restaurant where I used to go in there when I was making my record, and one day they had a new waitress in there, and she was really fine. I came through the door and fell down. Just right away. I couldn't get up. I couldn't say anything to her. You know, to look at her, you'd think that she didn't speak any English, and that she was like about 24, maybe had like 3 or 4 little kids and an old man in Mexico, and she was just up in L.A. working for her aunt, you know, in the restaurant to make a little coin, and she was wearing these beautiful Mexican dresses and ribbons in her hair. And so I got real tongue-tied, but I also developed this real intense craving for Mexican food. And I was in there every day for lunch and dinner for about 3 weeks, and finally the family started sending her in the back of the kitchen when I'd come in, because they, not that anything was going on, I didn't know what to say to her, you know. I was thinking of going over to Berlitz and trying to learn some Spanish, but I'd come through the door and I'd check out the whole thing. I'd figure out which section she was waiting on, and then I'd go sit there. Sometimes her Aunt Lucy'd, just to blow my mind, send her other sister over there, who was gigantic, and just sort of lean on me. What are you having? Your usual. Anyway, finally the whole bubble burst one day when this girl, who I figured her name was, I don't know what it was, but it was going to be fantastic right when I found it out. It turned out to be Cindy. Came over, I don't know, I had this whole idea of who she was, and she sat down and said, "Say, what's happening?" And I had gone through this whole, I'd gone through this whole change here. It is a dance we do in silence, far below this morning sun. You in your life, me in mine, we have begun. There we stand, and without speaking, draw the water from the well, and stare beyond the plains to where the mountains lie so still. But it's a long way that I have come across the sand to find this peace among your people in the sun, where the families work the land as they have always done. Oh, it's so far the other way, my country's gone. Across my home has grown the shadow of a cruel and senseless hand, though in some strong hearts the love and truth remain. It has taken me this distance and a woman's smile to learn that my heart remains among them, and to them I must return. But it's a long way that I have come across the sand to find you here among these people in the sun, where your children will be born. You'll watch them as they run. Oh, it's so far the other way, my life has gone. For me, Maria, you will find me in the shade, wide awake or in a dream, it's hard to tell. If you come to me, Maria, I will show you what I have made. It's a picture for Our Lady of the Well. There's one thing about that uncola, it'll make you burp. I guess that's natural, that's all right. Lots of things make you burp. My phrasing gets strange, it's just me trying to dodge a burp. This song here is for a girl I knew that worked on an organic vegetable farm in Malibu. And she was really into vegetables. New York, you know, you say organic in New York and people laugh. You say health and they just shake their heads, you know. It's just like just a concept here, you know, just sort of like a theory. Health, yeah, health. And health foods are a hoax. Anyway, she's really into her vegetables and her yoga and her meditation. Some people said she was studying to be a vegetable. Those people were from New York. I just have one more of this uncola here. I don't make it the way they should do, though. It's a little harder now. This girl worked for this old Italian guy that had invented a sweet lemon. I mean, no, to say he invented it, that's wrong. He grew a sweet lemon. He was really into vegetables himself. And I used to go down there and help her pick figs, and I'd get up in the morning and talk to the carrots and stuff, you know. But mainly, I was after the secret of the sweet lemon, because until you've tasted a sweet lemon, you know, that too is just a concept, you know. He called it a cocktail lemon. This is all the truth. He called it a cocktail lemon because he figured that would be a commercial way of, you know, getting it off the ground, you know. Sweet lemons, you know. It just goes by most people, sweet lemons, you know. But unless you go around giving them each individual little pieces of a sweet lemon, and then they still think you probably injected it with something sweet to make it that way, you know. But I picked this lemon off a tree and it was sweet. I'd like to dedicate this song to sweet lemons everywhere. a lovely one, I played her well. As we lay in the tall grass where the shadows fell, hiding from the children so they would not tell. We would stay there till her sister rang the evening bell. Jamaica, say you will help me find a way to fill these empty hours. Say you will come again tomorrow. The daughter of a captain on the rolling seas, she would stare across the water from the trees. Last time he was home, he held her on his knees and said the next time they would sail away just where they please. Jamaica, say help me find a way to fill these lifeless sails and stay until my ships can find the sea. Jamaica was a sweet young one, I loved her true. She was a comfort and a mercy through. Hiding from this world together, next thing I knew, they had brought her things down to the bay. What could I do? Jamaica, say help me find a way to fill these sails, and we will sail until our waters have run dry. Lost inside your houses, there's no time to find you now. Well, your walls are burning and your towers are turning. I'm gonna leave you here and try to get down to the sea somehow. Rock me on the water, sister, will you soothe my fevered brow? Oh, rock me on the water, I'll get down to the sea somehow. The road is filled with homeless souls, every woman, child and man, who have no idea where they will go, but they'll help you if they can. Now everyone must have some thought that's gonna pull them through somehow. Oh, the fires are raging hotter and hotter. But the sisters of the sun are gonna rock me on the water now. Rock me on the water. Sister, will you soothe my fevered brow? Oh, rock me on the water. I'll get down to the sea somehow. It's there your hope must lie. There's a seabird above you, gliding in one place, like Jesus in the sky. We all must do the best we can, and then hang on to that gospel plow. When my life is over, I'm gonna stand before the Father. The sisters of the sun are gonna rock me on the water now. Rock me on the water. Sister, will you soothe my fevered brow? Oh, rock me on the water. Maybe I'll remember how. Rock me on the water. The wind is with me now. So rock me on the water. I'll get down to the sea somehow. I'd like to do another song of John David Souther's. This is about the only chance I ever get to get away with it. It's when he's not around. This is also on his album. It's called Out to Sea. I wish I wrote this thing. Like I said before, John David's from Texas. I'd like to introduce you to my partner. This guy here is David Lindley. He bows and does our whole number, but he's not religious at all. Don't let it fool you. It's all just for the radio, all that. Some parts of the country, they call him the Lindley Brothers. He used to be in the Kaleidoscope. Not a one. His second audience in 8 weeks, there's been no response to that. That's a good sign. If you never heard of the Kaleidoscope, there were some reports of brain damage from the Kaleidoscope. they never did sell a whole lot of records, even though they're really fun, because the record companies didn't know just what to call them, you know. And just like the Big M will tell you, if you don't know what to call it, you can't exactly sell it. And one guy tried, he called it Arabian, country, and Western. That didn't quite hit it on the head. Anyway, enough about the Kaleidoscope. Back to J.D. Souther's Out to Sea. Almost said it. I'm sounding like a DJ, aren't I? They made me sign a piece of paper that made me promise I wouldn't say bleep over the air. This being live and everything, it cuts down on about a half of my repertoire. Well, I used to sing in Texas, and it sounded fine to me. I love you was all I had to say, but I changed the words so many times that I lost the melody, and I never even saw it slip away. Out to sea there is a refuge where the holy winds are strong. Out to sea there is a high place. Oh, sailor, lead me to your song. And then I came to California, living in this world. Oh, I guess I hope to write this song of songs. But I hear sweet Becky's voice ringing in my ears. Dear David, I hope you live that long. Out to sea there is a refuge where the holy winds are strong. Out to sea there is a high place. Oh, sailor, lead me home. We will bathe in the wide foaming waters and be pure as God's driven snow. On that cloudless day there'll be no sorrow. So the story goes, so it goes. I may never write a song that's good enough of me to chase the doubts and fears away. On a sinking ship of hope, you can hear the sailors calling, calling, Captain, sail away. Out to sea there is a refuge where the holy winds are strong. Out to sea there is a high place. Oh, sailor, sing a last used to know who the song was for. I mean, I used to think I knew. I mean, I know what I thought, but I was wrong. I'd just like to sing the song for anybody that ever blew your mind, you know. You know, anybody that ever really opened up your head or, you know, blew you off the branch, you know. And I'll just sing it for the one who blew mine. Well, I looked into a house I once lived in around the time I first went on my own, when the roads were as many as the places I had dreamed of, and my friends and I were one. Now the distance is done and the search has begun. I've come to see where my beginnings have gone. Oh, the walls and the windows were still standing, and the music could be heard at the door, where the people who kindly endured my odd questions asked if I came very far. When my silence replied, they took me inside, where their children sat playing on the floor. Well, we spoke of the changes that would find us farther on, and it left me so warm and so high. But as I stepped back outside to the gray morning sun, I heard that highway whisper and sigh, are you ready to fly? And I looked into the faces all passing by. It's an ocean that will never be filled, and the house that grows older and finally crumbles, that even love cannot rebuild. It's a hotel at best, you're here as a guest. You ought to make yourself at home while you're waiting for the rest. Well, I looked into the dream of the millions, that one day the search will be through. Now here I stand at the edge of my embattled illusions, looking into you. Among those who called him a prophet, and I asked him what was true, until the distance had shown how the road remains alone. Now I'm looking in my life for a truth that is my own. Well, I looked into the sky for my anthem, and the words in the music came through. Words and music will never touch the beauty that I've seen looking into you. And that's true. I'd like to thank Steinway and his sons for building that piano. It takes a really great piano for me to play any good at all, because if you got a piano that really rings and has a lot of sustain, then you don't have to play very many notes. You can just, some pianos, they sit there and ring. They got a Blüthner that'll ring for about 5 minutes, Write these 20-minute songs with 3 chords. 4 chords. 4 goes into 20. Actually, that's not the kind of piano that they usually get for me, although I really love that one. Generally, they get me a player piano. A little roll of paper that's got little dots cut out of it. This song here is for a friend of mine who I came to New York with in 1967. First time I ever went to New York. And we drove over here in a Rambler station wagon. They brought me along because I had a credit card. It wasn't my credit card. It was stolen. But so they invited me to come traveling with them, and I was in love with the idea of just picking up and leaving and going. That's what we did. There's a whole long involved story about how they left their women in Long Beach and went to Veracruz trying to catch the legendary banana boat for Spain, the big $20 slow boat, and they stood around on the jetty in Veracruz for about 3 months, made friends with the police down there. They finally, when their clothes got so raggedy, the police got tired of looking at them in rags, they were looking like citizens. They finally gave them some police, uniforms to wear. It's a pretty far cry from Miami Beach. We were down there. Like I said, they made me sign a little thing, not to foul the airwaves, in my performance tonight. But it's difficult to do, because it's such an integral part of my being, foulness, foul language, But they should have told me in Miami too, because I really fouled the air in Miami. And they wanted to arrest me afterwards, and right in the middle of this big argument with a cop about whether or not it's cool to swear or not, we got him so mad that he started screaming and swearing at me. He finally, right in the middle, he goes, and so he let me go. Other than that, we would have been in jail. Gone down there and paid their chicken dropping little fine. I don't know how to get around it, folks, Darn it. It's a guy, there's nothing foul about chicken droppings anyway, is there? They got a guy that built a car that'll run on it. You just put a chicken in your tank. Anyway, I forget what I started out to tell you. I'd better just try to sing the song now. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him well. He was alone into his distance. He was deep into his well. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really tell. Now the story's told that Adam jumped, but I'm thinking that he fell. Together we went traveling as we received the call. His destination, India, and I had none at all. Well, I still remember laughing with our backs against the wall. So free of fear, we never thought that one of us might fall. I sit before my only candle, though it's so little light to find my way. Now this story unfolds before my candle, which is shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. And I feel just like a candle in a way. I guess I'll get there, though I wouldn't say for sure. When we parted, we were laughing still as our goodbyes were said, and I never heard from him again as each our lives we led, except for once in someone else's letter that I read, until I heard the sudden word that a friend of mine was dead. I sit before my only candle, like a pilgrim sits beside the way. Now this journey appears before my candle as a song that's growing fainter the harder I play, till I fear before I end I'll fade away. But I guess I'll get there, though I wouldn't say for sure. Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him long. And when I stood myself beside him, I never thought I was as strong. Still it seems he stopped his singing in the middle of his song. Well, I'm not the one to say I know, but I'm hoping he was wrong. I'm holding out my only candle, though it's so little light to find my way. Now the story's been laid beneath my candle, it's shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. And I feel just like a candle in a way. I hope I'll get there, though I'll never pray. We got 3 songs in a row here we'd like to do for you that they're sort of related. The first 2 are for the same girl. No, I don't mean the same one that worked in the restaurant or the organic vegetable farm either. It's just the same one, you know. I have a friend who calls her the big her. David Blue, he said, it always refers to his elusive dream lover as the big her. Oh, here I'll put my finger picks away too. This song is how this song came to be. This girl stepped on my heart, squash it flatter than a mashed Mexican fly. I learned that Rolling Stone. Thus spake the big M. That's for all you cryptic freaks out there. If you can get into that, you can get into anything. But to go back to the plot here, this girl, what happened is, well, to go to the very beginning, we convinced this record company, not David and I, but we should eliminate all guilt. We'll assume the guilt on this half of the stage. I and some friends of mine convinced this record company that they ought to let us go out in the woods to record. Now you remember 1968 was like Big Pink time, right? And all you had to do to be heavy was to have a garage and a 16-track, you know. And so we said, we're about to make a record, and we say, hey, man, we got to record in the woods, you know? I mean, look what's, you know, man, Big Pink, man. Like that, and most amazingly, they swallowed a hook, line, and hotel in the mountains. And they set us up there in this old hotel that had been built by the railroad, which was a Mormon railroad at that, in Northern California, up on the Feather River, which is where they discovered gold, roughly 100 years before. Maybe that's why they let us do it, out of some kind of connection with the discovery of gold. I'm sure gold had something to do with it anyway. I won't tell you what record company it was, but Jack, if you're listening out there, it was beautiful of you to do it, and it was just one of those big, beautiful failures, you know. It was terrible. One reason it failed was that everybody got up there and started swimming instead of playing, you know. The first mistake was they let us do it. They let us go make the record, you know. We had this idea for a recording ranch, you know, in a hotel, you know. And the first mistake was they should have ripped us off for the idea, you know, and then sent us back to Echo Park where we belong. That's a suburb of Los Angeles. And then the second mistake was once we were up there trying to do it, I stopped thinking about the music and started thinking about this girl that was up there, and which was really dumb because although we were very close, there were 3 groups up there, and a couple of them had old ladies. Anyway, there were about 35 guys up there at one time, and 3 chicks. And I didn't stand a chance, you know. My best bet would have just not to have, you know. I thought I had her all sewed up, you know. I tried to, you know. I should have had her sewed up. I think about it. But, shh. FCC after me. Anyway, one day after this particularly discouraging wrestling match with her, which I lost, I ran outside to the tracks, which a very slow locomotive was going by on, and I jumped on the thing, and I went 4 miles into town where there was a coffee shop, a hardware store, and a show, a moving picture show, and played Heartbreak Hotel about 45 times on a jukebox, and I walked home. And the second song is for the same girl. I wrote it for her anyway. Lady stands before an open window, staring so far away. She can almost feel the southern wind blow, almost touching her restless day. She turns from her window to me, sad smile, her apology, sad eyes reaching to the door. Daylight loses to another evening, and still she spares me goodbye, and sits alone beside me, fighting her feelings. Struggles to speak, but in the end can only cry. But suddenly it's so hard to find the sound of the words to speak her troubled mind. So I'm offering these to her as if to be kind. There's a train every day, leaving either way. There's a world, you know, there's a way to go. You'll soon be gone, that's just as well. This is my opening farewell. A child's drawings left there on the table, and a woman's silk lying on the floor. Well, I would keep them here if I were able to lock her safe behind this open door. But suddenly it's so clear to me that I'd asked her to see what she may never see. And now my kind words find their way back to me. There's a train every day, leaving either way. There's a world, you know, you got a ways to go, and I'll soon believe that's just as well. This is my opening farewell. In the time we've known that we each are a part of one another, we've lost as much as we have won. And as our lives have grown, we have found that it only brings the pain to hang on to the things that we have done. Still I love the times you've come. When you went away, taking all that I built my false road on, I dropped my life and couldn't find the pieces. Now you come and go, and it's hard, but I feel the strength returning. We'll see how far this new road reaches. You see a little more each time you come. Now everybody's gonna tell you it's not worth it. Everybody's gotta show you their own pain. You may try to find your way up around it, but the need for love will still remain. Now we're lying here, so safe in the ruins of our pleasure. Laughter marks the place where we have fallen, and our lives are near, so it wouldn't occur to us to wonder if this is the past or the future that is calling. You know I love these times you've come.
Thank you. Gonna leave you with this song here. This is dedicate this song to Paul Gauguin. Sterling Hayden and Marlon Brando. And David Crosby, a bunch of his friends. Anybody who ever thought of splitting from here and going there, you know? I mean, it used to be you could do that. It used to be like if you left from Paris and went to Tahiti, that it was like, that was the big cruise, you know, and you could really like leave it all behind, right, you know? Except the world's round, you know, and real small. And it's the same ball of air, you know, around the whole world, you know. I mean, it's like when Krakatoa blew up, right? That big island in the Pacific, you know. 6 months later, there was a big black spot over Rome. You know, it's all global. The air's global. Anybody that might have thought they could get themselves a little boat, you know, and paddle away into the sunset and solve all their, you know, problems. Well, I don't know why I'm telling you this for. You live in New York. It probably never occurred to you at all. You know? It might have, though. I don't know. Here in New York, when they all want to get away from it, they go to Miami. I know, you're getting on my case for putting down. I'm not putting down New York. Except when people in New York want to get away, they go to Miami. Well, have you ever seen Miami? There's more delicatessens in Miami, man. More, Jesus. It's been tried, you know. It's been tried. Everybody tried to get away one time or another. I get away in my head all the time, you know. Get away, get away. I know these kids, the kids of Sterling Hayden, you know, the actor. I gotta tell you this one really great thing he did. They're having a custody battle over the kids, he and his wife, right? This is a long time ago when they were just little kids. And so he thought he would like put them in a bag and take them away, you know, take them like 3 miles out, right? So they couldn't take his kids away. And he's got this gigantic clipper ship, right? This old, ancient, the last of the seagoing San Francisco clipper ships, and it's in the bay of San Francisco, you know. And so he's got the kids on board, and they're just like that, just 3 steps away from the custody police, and they're gonna grab his kids and jump on. They start sailing out, and they thought they'd salute San Francisco on their way out. So they thought they'd salute Sausalito is what it was, you know, which is where they're from. And they had this 10-pound cannon on board, you know, 10-pound shot, you know, just about the size of a small bowling ball, right? And they stuff all these rotten potatoes and garbage and stuff down the cannon, you know. And as they go past, you know, the city hall of Sausalito, and they just fired off all this garbage. Only one thing wrong. Somehow or other, the gunpowder and everything had like made it all congeal, you know, so it came out like a cannonball. So this 10 pounds of solid potato garbage, man, comes sailing through the air, out over the, you know, they thought it would just sort of spray Sausalito with a fine mist of puke, you know. But it didn't work, and it just came out just like a cannonball. It went about 4 streets behind the main drag, disappeared behind a building. And they didn't find out for years. When they came back, what it had done, it had hit a police car, which had been parked. Because the police is like right, they came very close to hitting the police building itself, you know, but it hit it right on top of the roof and blew all 4 windows out, all 4 sides of the car. And that's why I want to dedicate this song to Sterling Hayden, because he's so great. Anyway, and I'd just like to leave you with this this thought here.
Everybody I talk to is ready to leave with the light of the morning. They've seen the end coming down long enough to believe that they've heard their last warning. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hand. As the evening descends, I sit thinking about every man. Seems like I've always been looking for some other place to get it together, where with a few of my friends we could give up the race and maybe find something better. But all my fine dreams, well thought out schemes to gain the motherland, have all eventually come down to waiting for every man. Waiting here for every man. Make it on your own if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. Waiting here for every man. Don't ask me if he'll show, baby, I don't know. Make it on your own if you think you can. Somewhere later on you'll have to take a stand. Then you're gonna need a hand. Everybody's just waiting to hear from the one who can give them the answers and lead them back to that place in the warmth of the sun where sweet childhood still dances. I will come along and hold out that strong but gentle father's hand. Long ago I heard someone say something about every man. Waiting here for every man. Make it on your own, make it if you think you can. If you've got somewhere to go, I understand. I'm not trying to tell you that I've seen the plan. Walk the other way if you think I am. But don't think too badly of one who's left holding sand. He's just another dreamer, dreaming about every man. Just like to relate this one song here that was inspired by these redneck freaks I met out in the woods last summer. It sounds so strange up here. I wish I was out there listening because we can't really hear each other up here. I trust him. I've been working with him for a few weeks now, and I trust him pretty much.
Still making music together when you can't hear each other, sort of like holding hands through the mail. That's not usually what we say, but it'll have to do for the FCC. You get the picture. Yeah. To dedicate this song to Mount Zion National Monument and Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis. All right. And who? I'm not hip to him either. No, I just didn't hear you. Same thing, I guess, isn't it? It's called Honey, Let Me Introduce You to My Redneck Friend.
How has it all begun? They're teaching you how to walk, but you're already on the run, little one. What you gonna do, little one? Honey, it's all up to you. Now your daddy's in the den, they're shooting up the evening news. And mama's with a friend, lately she's been so confused. Little one, come on and take my hand. Well, I may not have the answer, but I believe I got a plan. Honey, you shake, I'll rattle, and we'll roll on down the line and see if we can't get in touch with a very close friend of mine. Let me clue you in, it ain't like him to argue or pretend. Well, honey, let me introduce you to my redneck friend. Well, they got a little list of all those things of which they don't approve. Well, they gotta keep their eyes on you, or you might make your move, little one. I really wish you would, little one. I think the damage you do you good. Honey, you shake, I'll rattle, you roll on down the line. You're gonna forget all about the battle, it's gonna feel so fine. 'Cause he's the missing link, the kitchen sink, 11 on a scale of 10. Honey, let me introduce you to my redneck friend. I'll rattle, you can roll on down the line. I'm gonna try to swing you up into the saddle. We're gonna roll, but you think we're flying. Now honey, don't just stand there looking like this dream will never end. Honey, let me introduce you to my redneck friend. I said, honey, let me introduce you to my redneck friend.
Thank you, Radio Land.